What if Visa and Mastercard stopped working?
Oh no,
Imagine this. It's Monday morning. You're running late for work. On the way, you stop at a coffee shop. You order your coffee, pull out your Visa card, and tap it against the payment machine. Transaction failed. You smile awkwardly and try again. Same message. You switch to your Mastercard. Again, payment failed. You quickly open your banking app. Your salary is still there. Your money hasn't disappeared. So, why can't you use it? You walk outside, thinking it's just your bank. But then you notice something strange. People at the gas station can't pay. Customers are leaving supermarkets with full shopping carts because every card is being declined. Restaurants have stopped accepting card payments. Online shopping websites are suddenly filled with error messages. Within minutes, social media explodes. Millions of people across the world are reporting the exact same problem. Visa and Mastercard have stopped working. Not for one store, not for one country, but everywhere. The question is, what would actually happen if the two biggest payment networks on Earth suddenly went offline? To understand that, we first need to understand something most people don't know. Visa and Mastercard don't actually hold your money. Your bank does. Think of Visa and Mastercard as giant digital highways. Every time you pay with your card, your bank sends a message through those highways asking one simple question: can this payment be approved? Normally, that answer comes back in just a few seconds. So fast, you never even think about it. But what if those highways suddenly disappeared? Your money would still exist. Your bank account would still exist. But millions of payments that rely on those networks could fail. And that's when the real chaos would begin. The first hour would mostly be confusion. People would assume it's just another temporary outage. Stores would ask customers to try again. Some people would restart their phones. Others would blame their bank. Nobody would realize they're witnessing one of the biggest payment failures in modern history. But after 2 or 3 hours, the panic would slowly begin. Businesses that only accept card payments would be forced to stop selling. Long lines would start forming at ATMs as people rushed to withdraw cash. Some ATMs would run out of money faster than expected because everyone would have the same idea at the same time. By evening, cash would suddenly become more valuable than it had been in years. People who never carry cash would have no easy way to buy food, fuel, or everyday essentials in many places. Delivery apps would face disruptions where card payments are required. Subscription services could fail to renew. Hotels and airlines would struggle to process many transactions. Now imagine this outage doesn't end after a few hours. Imagine it lasts for an entire week. Every day the problem continues. The consequences grow larger. Businesses begin losing millions of dollars. Small stores that depend on daily sales struggle to pay employees. International travelers face a nightmare. Imagine landing in another country with enough money in your bank account, but no reliable way to use your cards where they're accepted. The financial markets would also react. Not because money has disappeared, but because uncertainty spreads faster than almost anything else. Investors hate uncertainty, and when confidence drops, markets often react. Governments would immediately call emergency meetings. Banks would work around the clock, trying to keep payments flowing through alternative methods. Some countries might rely more on domestic payment systems or bank transfers. Others could encourage cash transactions until services recover. Technology companies would race to identify the problem. If the outage were caused by a technical failure, restoring systems safely would become the highest priority. If it were linked to a cyber attack, authorities would likely move even more cautiously to avoid making the situation worse. People would also change their behavior. Families would become more careful with spending. Many would keep emergency cash at home. Businesses would invest in backup payment options instead of relying too heavily on a single method. The world would adapt, because it always does. History has shown that even during major financial disruptions, people find new ways to trade, buy, and sell. But the event would leave a lasting lesson. We've built a world where paying for almost anything takes just a few seconds. It's fast, it's convenient, and because it works almost every day, we rarely stop to think about what happens if it doesn't. The truth is, Visa and Mastercard are part of an enormous financial system with many layers of protection and backup plans. A permanent worldwide shutdown is considered highly unlikely. But even a major temporary disruption could remind us how dependent modern life has become on digital payment networks. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. The money in your bank account is important. But in today's world, being able to move that money may be just as important as having it. So the next time you tap your card and the payment goes through in 2 seconds, remember, behind that tiny beep is one of the most complex financial systems ever built. And if that system ever stopped, even for a short time, the entire world would feel it.